I'm Giuliana from Hardcore Italians, and you're watching Italian Things with G. Today, we're going over our blog post titled 7 Memories from Visiting Italian Grandparents. Andiamo! There's something about going to nonno and nonna's house, especially when you're a child. Growing up, going there on Sunday, or even just to visit with your cousins or your family was just something so surreal and brings back so many beautiful memories. I mean, even from the moment you pull up to their house and you're walking up to knock on the door, you notice their yard or their garden, which brings us to number 1. Now, it's no secret that Italian grandparents have that green thumb. They love to tend a garden, they love to tend, the yard in front of their house. It's always so well kept, there's the most beautiful flowers, you're always seeing fresh basil, fresh tomatoes, and nonna or whoever loves to garden also loves to talk about it. They love to stand there for hours and water it, and when there's a new bud on the plant, they want to tell you all about it. And the yard in general is just so peaceful. It feels like you could just relax and sit for hours and just admire everything that is on that front yard, including all the angel statues and little figurines in front of the house or within the garden. I think it's really just so sweet and wholesome, the love that Italian grandparents have for being nurturers and taking care of a garden or plants or their yard. Number 2, the broken English. Now, both sets of my grandparents were full-blooded Italian, and Italian was their first language, and they had to learn English when they came to America, which means that their English was not very good. My great-grandparents, however, could only speak Italian, so the only way we were conversing were through hugs and kisses, and I remember they would say beautiful, or we would communicate while playing cards, a card game, which I think is so beautiful about, Scupone. I could connect with these grandparents through numbers, which I think is really beautiful because there's no language barrier on, math and stuff like that. But yeah, it was super fun to try to understand what they were saying. I also think it's just amazing and incredible how much love was there without anything verbal. It was all just hugs and kisses and just the understanding that you're my great-great-grandparents or my grandparents and I'm just your grandchild or whoever. We can't even really talk. We don't understand each other, but we love each other. I think that's so beautiful. It makes me sad though. I've had conversations with my nonna and she'll say that she feels embarrassed about her broken English. And I'm like, nonna, that is the coolest thing. I love broken English. I think it's there's something so heartwarming about it. It's so cute. And she's just like, no, I don't like to speak. It makes me sad. I think it's so cute. So nonna, if you're watching, I know you're embarrassed by your broken English, but I assure you that a lot of other people watching would agree with me. I feel like the only ones who wouldn't agree with me would be the other nonnas who also are embarrassed by the broken English. But on to the next one. Number 3, the toys at nonno and nonna's house. Now these toys weren't the best. They were olden, but they were the best because your nonna gave this to you to play with. It was either play with these toys or sit with the grown-ups upstairs and be bored to death by conversation that you don't care about. So might as well play with the toys. They weren't that bad. I mean, nonna, she had these really pretty dolls and figurines, but they were collectibles and I really wanted to play with them, but I wasn't allowed to. Which is totally fine. I get it. They were nice porcelain. I would have broken them, But there were a select amount of toys that we could play with when we went to nonna or nonna's, and it was a lot of fun. I miss those toys. I hope they're doing okay. I'm having a Toy Story moment where we haven't played or seen these toys in a long time and they're probably in storage or something. I'm worried about them. Toy Story fans out there, you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, number 4, you always left with money. I mean, that's why it's number 4, because they would slip you the money like this. Even when you're a little kid. I remember getting money that, handed to me like that when I was 5 or 6. What am I supposed to do with a $50 bill for candy bars? I don't, what? Italian grandparents cut everything. They cut it all and they go straight to, here's the money. Buy a candy bar, $50. Don't spend it all in one place. If you want to, honestly, that's fine. That's literally them. Number 5, you always feel welcome when you go to nonna or nonno's house. We were always watched by our grandparents. There was never a babysitter in the questioning. It was always nonna or nonna are gonna watch the kids. Always, always, always. I don't remember ever having a babysitter in my entire life. And looking back, I bet my mom needed them to watch us, but at the same time, we thought we were just hanging out and going to play. It was always so much fun to go there. And I hear horror stories about kids having to have the terrible babysitter. I don't know why right now I'm thinking about Fairly Odd Parents and Vicky from Fairly Odd Parents, she's an evil babysitter. Yeah, I never could relate because I always had nonna or nonna. We always had the best babysitters. And And the best food, which is number 7. The food is just so good at Nonno's house. Fresh veggies from the garden, pasta, chicken cutlet, you name it. And whatever it was, you were taking home an ancient Tupperware that was from like the 50s, and you're gonna reuse it. And Nonna needs to make sure that she gets that Tupperware back because recycle, baby. You can't buy new Tupperware. You need to use the same Tupperware with the sauce stained already in it. And like the Cool Whip containers. I don't know, that's what my Nonna did. Nonna, I don't mean to embarrass you. I've seen a lot of memes on Hardcore Italians and comments of people saying their Nonnas do the same thing. We're all cut from the same cloth. But does that mean that we're all gonna do this too someday? Let me know in the comments below. I think that we might. I love you, Nonna. Are there any other memories you can come up with? Leave us a comment down below and don't forget to tag Faizan. This was Italian Things with G, and thanks for watching. Ciao!